Hello and welcome to a new webinar by Catenda. Today's topic will be BCF workflow related. I'm Julien Benoit, your speaker today, and I'm Head of Customer Success at Catenda. The intention today is to explain with an example how using issues in Bimsync and implementing a BCF workflow on your project can help every participant, and more specifically people producing content, to get the best of the BCF format and the issues inside Bimsync. So what I will do today is use several tools. The ones, of course, that you may know is Bimsync, which will be the main platform to collaborate and share issues and topics based on the BCF format. Then I will use Solibri, which has a direct integration with our issue management system in Bimsync, and I will impersonate Bim Coordinator. I will also use the Bimsync plugin that we have that integrates into this authoring tool, and there it will be another person as a structural engineer. And lastly, I will show you also the latest addition to our plugin portfolio with the ArchiCAD plugin, and I will be playing the role of the architect here and see what you can get from the integration with your software there. So as I said, to just have a clear picture of what I will try to achieve today, Bimsync will be, in front of Bimsync will be sitting the project manager, having a review of what's going on this project and having specific topic in mind that he wants to have covered. The next one will be in Solibri with the Bim Coordinator, or the person in charge of the coordination process. I just said Bim Coordinator now, but you can replace this term by anyone using Solibri or Navisworks or a bit of both to coordinate the project and the model, so everything can be put in place smoothly on the project site. And then, of course, I picked two main actors on projects. The first one will be using Revit, and here I chose to have a structural engineer doing so. And then an architect will be using ArchiCAD on this project and will be able to comment and view issues assigned to it or where it is involved in ArchiCAD, thanks to our latest plugin. So let's begin with the project manager. So I will go inside the Bimsync user interface, and I try to connect with different users so it actually makes sense in the issue management that you can see different people. So let me go to the 3D viewer. I will open the structural model, the MEP model, and the architecture model. And here I will be a project manager. So first, as a rule of thumb, I always go to the 2D view so I can clearly orient myself. And I want to check in the main entrance area. I want to go in here and have a review again on this little bridge, because I know that there are some structural elements involved in here, and some lighting and maybe other device. So on the top of my task today, it's to have a clear understanding of what's going on here. So I will select some elements and make them translucent so I can see behind it and say, okay, so what's going on here? We have structural framing in steel, we have covering elements from the architect, and we also have lighting device that must be powered and switched with cables and stuff, and it seems to be very busy for me. So I will have a request. I will ask my Bim Coordinator to conduct a review and have a process reviewing if everything is in place here and everything is okay. So let's make a new issue in Bimsync first. and say bridge design. I have topic about the bridge design, and I will set correctly all the status and all. So it's an open question, so it's starting. The issue board is the BCF Webinar issue board. And this is not a red flag, this is a coordination warning, because I'm a bit concerned about the packed area here. I will use the feature location marker. So the latest addition in Bimsync is guiding you to make a 2D marker. So I will say add marker. I see this pop-up telling me to click on the 2D viewer. So I'm just sitting in front of it, so I will just pop the marker right in front of me. So next time I come in Bimsync, I will be able to find this issue quite easily. I have a due date, of course. Everything has a due date, and I have a stage 3 review, so it's urgent. By the end of August, it should be solved and cleared. Then I will assign it to someone. So I am impersonating the Bim Coordinator. So here's my name, it's me. I will review this, and also I will add architecture and coordination and structural topic as tags, so I can sort my issues later on and filter them. And in the description field, I will say, can you make the bridge thinner, maybe? Also, have a check for clearance around lights and cables. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see if it's correct. So maybe I will also poke the other people that are involved. So it will be the architect that I called Architect Web, and also the structural guy, Structural Webinar. Okay, all set. My issue is ready. I will submit it, and it will be saved and recorded here, right? So as you see now, there's a little dot here on this map. On this little map, I will just make it smaller. Here we go. And so next time I'm coming here, I will be able to say, okay, let's go to the issue review. If I switch off this, I have a question about the bridge design, and when I pop this open, I can see in the 3D view that there's the little point here, and then I can replay the view and say, okay, here's what's happening. That's the BCF standard we're using here. So now, how does it work for the other guys? So as you can see, I put someone in charge. It's assigned to Julien Benoit, the Bim coordinator, and I also mentioned the architect and the structural. So these two guys will also get a notification inside Bimsync or email that they have something to check here. So now let's go to the Bim coordinator role. I will open, and it's ready here, Solibri. So in Solibri, you have a setup that's called BCF Live Connector. And when you're using this, you will be able to connect directly without import or export with Bimsync. So I will set up a new server that I will call BCF Webinar, and this is a Bimsync server, and the URL I need to check here will be the one from the issue board. So you see this button, Exchange Issue. You have to copy this and simply paste it here. Okay, now I will select this, and you see all of a sudden I have all my issue boards, and the one I'm using now is the BCF Webinar. Now I can synchronize. So now, as you can see here, bridge design open. So let's see what's going on here. Here we go. So you have the view in Solibri, you have the preview from the BCF, and you have the command from the project manager. And you see in the comment that 2 people have been assigned to it. So now I will answer my project manager that this will be reviewed before the next coordination meeting. So I'm taking charge. I will do it. Okay, so the status is synchronizing now. Here we go, it's ready. So if I go back here and open the issue again and maybe refresh the screen because it's web-based, so I need to refresh. Yeah, this will be reviewed before the next coordination meeting. Fine. So from the Bim Coordinator point of view, now I have the point of view here. I can make, I can hide things. Oops, sorry. As you will see, I'm not actually a brilliant user of all of these tools. Some of them I know quite well, but some I don't. So let's hide this guy. Okay, let's hide this one. Here we go. So now we can see the lights, we can see the framing. So I can definitely see what's going on, and that at some point there might be an issue. Okay, so I need to check if the clearance is okay here for the structural part. So let's go to the architect and structural engineer, sorry. Oops, that's the view again. Yeah, here we go. So now let's go to the Revit guy. So here is the structural engineer. So he has the plugin installed in the add-in menu here, and the first thing he needs to do is to log into his Bimsync account. So let's do that together. Structural web at bimsync.com. Here we go. So you see the project is part of, and now he has to select the BCF Webinar 1 because that's where he is involved. And now you can see the issue that has been tagged on. Right, you see his name is here. So now let's recreate inside Revit the exact same point of view as we have in Bimsync. So I will click here on this little camera button. And after a short period of time, you will see the exact same view inside my Revit session. As you can see, my machine is not the best for the topic here because it's not a professional Revit setup. But here you go, exactly the same point of view. So the guy in charge, the guy that is running the structural analysis, calculation, and so on, can definitely see where it is, what the problem is, and can comment back to say, okay, I see the issue here. I will update the framing design for a better clearance, because obviously we need some room to have cable and all the gears and all the fixture that we need to have the lights. Submit. Back to issues, and now if I go back as a project manager, I go back here and I refresh this issue, I will see that there's a new comment. So again, as I said, let's refresh this. Structural engineer says, I see the issue, I will update the framing, blah, blah, blah. So he answered, and he knows exactly what he has to do. Fine. We have the point of view of the structural engineer now here. Now let's ask the architect. So now we go to another world, which is ArchiCAD software. I will log with another user in Bimsync, exactly as I did with the structural engineer. And here I will review the topic as well. So first thing, when it's the first time, you need to allow the plugin to connect to your account. I'm just doing it now. Now I see the project I'm involved with, and I can go to the BCF webinar and find the issue I'm involved in. So here again, I see the exact same thing. It's the same look and feel that in Bimsync. Can you make the bridge thinner? Blah, blah, blah. It's here, it's here. I see the issue. We'll update the framing design for better clearance. Okay, so let's see what the architect has to say. So I will replay this view and create the view inside ArchiCAD. So again, you will figure that my machine might be a bit slow, but let's wait for it. And we should have in the viewer the exact same point of view as the coordination view we had in Bimsync from the project manager. Here we go. Not too bad. So now I can see, okay, so now I am the architect and I say, well, maybe I can, yeah, I'm fine with the thinner thing. If you can make an extra room for me and there's no problem in making it thinner as long as we have the clearance and the room to have some steel framing. So let me see if I can hide this. Yeah, here we go. Now I can see structural framing. Okay, so let me answer this. I agree with thinner design as long as the framing will allow it. I will tag the Bim Coordinator. Where is he? Here is he. Here it is. To close the case when everything is updated. So I poke this guy in the comment here. Submit the comment, blah, 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 and here it is. And I can go back to another issue if there's another one and continue working on what I have to do here. And I am in my world, I'm in ArchiCAD, I don't have to go and review everything in Bimsync. So now let's go back to the project manager point of view. So connecting again, it's a new day. I ask a question about the bridge design and I saw that there's some stuff going on. So maybe I will just recreate the view to see what I was asking here. And maybe I need to update also so I can have the latest comment. Here we go. And now recreate the view. So as I mentioned before, you will see the little dot on the arc model here. So it's the bridge design issue that is located here, right? Now I have the exact same point of view as I started with, and I can see that structural said, I will update the framing design for better clearance, and the architect agreed, as long as the framing will allow it, and tagging Julien Benoit for the coordination. Fine. And there's a new update, there's a new issue, there's a new model issuing, so they can have a new design. And when I'm happy with the new design, I can close the issue. So that's the most basic demonstration I can have of using correctly a BCF workflow among various softwares. So as I mentioned earlier, we've seen the project manager using Bimsync. We've seen the structural engineer using Revit, the Bim Coordinator having a review and a direct integration with Bimsync inside Solibri. And here you have ArchiCAD. And you can imagine there will be more participants because more people are using Revit. Maybe the MEP guys are using Revit. And we will also produce new integrations along the way and this year and the coming month to have more software included in this environment. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood the concept of having this centralization of the information inside Bimsync with the flow of question back and forth, all centralized in an issue based on the BCF format. I wish you a very good day and see you the next time. Bye.